How do you grow into a 100K a month copywriter? Well, you do it with profit shares. But you need to know where to start. That's why I created this series, The Evolution of a 100K a month copywriter. By the way, I'm AJ. I started out as a copywriter years ago, and now I profit share with my business partner, Scott. And we do upwards of about 250 to 300K a month every single month in revenue. And now I teach other copywriters how to make that jump from copywriter to profit sharing at the chief marketer level. In this series, I cover the 3 levels of a 100K a month copywriter, your journey, how to think about this the right way, your specific action steps at the newbie level, the intermediate, and also the advanced level if you're really experienced there. In this specific video, I go deep if you are a newbie, you have less than 6 months of copywriting experience, or you haven't gotten your first client yet, then this is a great video for you to watch. Alright, let's dive in. I want to start off where you are at. So, newbie, let's be clear who you are. Maybe I'd say 6 months of 0 to 6 months of experience. Read copy books. You've heard about copywriting, you've heard about this thing where people do 5, 10K, 15K, 20K months, but you don't know what it is, you don't know how to get started. You just know that, okay, there's a skill called marketing. You know that there's offers like coaching offers, there's online offers, there's these marketing funnels, there's Russell Brunson, there's this, there's that, there's even ghostwriting, whatever people call it. Copywriting is basically the art of the selling, the art of the printed word. That's it, the selling the printed word. That's what copywriting is. And so what we're talking about is copywriting is marketing for online coaching offers, as an email copywriter, as a sales page, funnels, and you got AI ads as well that my friend Sean Ferris teaches. And so for here, in this aspect of the game, what your whole focus is, again, the whole goal is what? 100K a month. You want to get there, right? But it's going to take some time. And so I want to show you how you can get there as quick as possible. What you want to do is, the very first thing is you need to get experience first. So that's your first client. Your first client will make you understand internet money. It'll make you believe that this is possible, it'll overcome all the blocks you have, all your limiting beliefs around money. Your first client is going to help you with that. So that's honestly the most toughest part ever. First client is always going to be the most difficult. The way we have done it, the way I have done it personally, is positioning. So I can give you a couple tips here on positioning. What else? Positioning yourself in the market, who you are, skill, and of course, credibility, case studies, proof. So you want to make sure to get your first client really on a high level. You want to make sure you're positioned in the market. For example, I lived in Australia 4 years ago, and I still live in Australia, but I first moved to Australia back in 2022, and the way I got started was I was about 3 years into the game, but I was still fairly new to the whole marketing world until I met my mate Sean Ferris, who's been an absolute game changer for me. He taught me how to find clients. And so using his program, I just went deep on real estate buyers agencies in Australia. The most random thing in the world. But the fact of the matter is, about maybe 6 months ago, I was a media buyer for an investor in the US. I had taken it upon myself to learn real estate, and I had a friend connect with me with a business opportunity. And so that was generating motivated seller leads with clients on Fiverr, on Upwork. But this was a partnership that I had with an investor in the US. And so I was running ads to generate motivated seller leads for them. And when I moved to Australia for university, I was like, hey, I'm over here in Australia, let's work with Aussie clients. And over here, there's not many real estate coaches, but there's a whole niche called real estate buyers agencies. And so that's where I would sell to them. And so my whole thing, when I cold email my clients, I found them through email and LinkedIn. What did I say? I am a digital marketer. I'm a Facebook ads and email marketing expert for real estate buyers agencies. That was my positioning, right? Now it was a pretty blue ocean because there was maybe I had one other competitor, but he didn't do a good job at promoting himself. His positioning was bad. The way his font colors when he promoted his case studies was so off. It was really disgusting. to say the least. And so I knew I had a blue ocean opportunity. I had a lot of attention when I cold emailed, because I used very specific personalized emails to reach out to them. So that's one thing you want to do. Personalization. Personalization is so key. When you personalize your outreach, you're going to get a lot of responses because the email was meant for them. That's how I found clients. Even on LinkedIn, that's how I found clients. And so that's how you want to find your first client. You want to personalize the heck out of your first email. I'll even write here email and LinkedIn. And LinkedIn is still, honestly, that's how I found my first client was LinkedIn. My first paid client was email. I'm trying to think. I think they would pay around the same time, but I started off with LinkedIn because it was easier. And then I went to email. And that's when I got a lot of traction. Because at LinkedIn, what I did was, you want to find your first, I'm actually going to write here as well, first case study. So you really want to get your first case study. This is going to be the most important thing for you as a digital marketer, as someone who's trying to make it in the online space. You want to have your first case study. So important, because that's going to set the tone for everything else. And so for me, what I did was I reached out to buyers agencies in Australia and I said, hey, I see your X, Y, and Z. I see you're doing this. I see you have Google. I see you have a decent number of Google reviews. You know what? Can I work for you for free? I'll help you for like 2 or 3 months. I want to get within 90 days. I want to get you your first client through paid ads, through outreach. I want to help you do that. And so I actually started a lead magnet. I actually generated a lot of leads for them under a 1K ad spend. And so it actually went decently well. It gave me the chops to have a case study that I could promote. And so once I had that, then I used that case study and I did email. Because the case study was a buyers agency that he was small, but he joined this mastermind of buyers agencies. And so when I emailed like 100 buyers agencies in Australia, all of them knew this guy because this guy was part of the mastermind. And so they would like text him up. That had mixed reactions, I'll say that. But there were a few people who just knew that the fact that I knew what I said, I had a case study, I had something that worked. And so they were willing to speak to me. And that's how I got my first paying client. I still remember. And from that, things have just ballooned up since. So that was how I got started in this world. But that's for your first client, right? So that's still the first how to get your clients as a newbie. But I want to say that once you get your first client, maybe you're a freelancer and stuff, what you want to do is insert yourself, let me write this down. You want to be indispensable in the business. I'm going to write this down. Be indispensable. How do I spell that? Indispensable. I believe that's how I spell it. English is my strongest suit, so I do hope I can write well. Okay, so indispensable. You want to be a rock star within the company. And now, look, your foot in the door can be a service. And so for me, it was email copywriting and Facebook ads. For you, it could be email copywriting. It could be something else. AI ads is a good thing that's crushing right now. You could be doing LinkedIn lead gen. Whatever that skill is, you want to make sure you position yourself in a good niche that has money and for you to get in the door and solve your niche's biggest problems. Okay, and for me, what I did was I was a freelancer at the time and I had about a couple of years of working. So I feel a lot of the people who are new, they do not have experience working in a corporate culture. Not in a corporate culture, sorry, experience in a remote team, in an online coaching offer, in an online business where you can see how things work. And so when you do that, so there are two elements to this that I want to point out. I'd say indispensable plus experience. What I was talking about more was for experience, so let's just wrap that up. Experience, what I mean by that is you want to have experience in a remote working culture. So I'll just write remote working culture. What I mean by this is, how do people communicate? How does the team leader use leaderboards and gamify their experience for their closers, sales reps, to keep up the team morale, maybe a weekly wins chat, maybe a team meeting, maybe an everyday meeting. Whatever they are using, you want to get yourself in a really good business and you want to rack up their experience so you know how a good business looks like. Because guess what? You're gonna run one of your own very, very, very soon. And so for you to understand and for you to execute on a good business, you need to have a good model. And this is what the experience provides you. A lot of people start shitting on like, oh, like job, I hate a job and all that. But look, why are you doing this? You're not taking a job. You're taking a very specific role within the company that's going to help you get to your first 100K month. Again, what's the whole goal? Your first 100K month. Always think about that. Okay? And so when we come back to this, you want to get good experience first in a company that is crushing it so you can understand what excellence looks like. So important. You basically understand good leadership qualities, and also you understand the tech stack. And increasingly now, AI agents. Or just how AI is being used. AI is being used. And you have, once you have these in place, you can understand, you can talk to the people around you, you can talk to the chief marketer, you can talk to the chief of staff, you can talk to the sales guys. You can insert yourself in a company where you become indispensable. You become indispensable. And so what I mean by indispensable, which means you become so valuable, that it becomes costly to fire you. It becomes costly to fire you. So when you do this, you are separating yourself from every other team player in your company. And so when you start doing this at a higher level, you start to be entrenched in the business, which means you can start to talk to the leadership a lot more. You have a role, you even have a spearhead at the leadership, right? You can start to see, okay, what are the skills that make these guys good? What do I need to learn to be at that level, to operate at that level, to do that at a company and make freaking awesome money doing it? Maybe in a commission experience, maybe you can upgrade yourself. Maybe for certain promotions, like a challenge or a monthly webinar, you can coordinate under the leadership and have a small commission base. Look, I'll have a 3% commission on a 15K offer if I'm able to lead it and the chief of marketing and everyone else takes a back seat. And so obviously you need trust, you need to be that company, they need to know that they can trust you to run it. And so when you can do these things, you show them, the company, that you are indispensable. Because you want to just worry about the marketing at this point. You don't want to worry about the fulfillment. And so you got to understand the two things here: marketing and then fulfillment. Now, for me personally, I'm not a big fan of fulfillment. I'm starting to step into more of that role as I get more demand of copywriters, marketers, coaches looking for me and say, hey, you did so well with the book funnel. How the hell do I do it for me? And I will teach and coach. That's what for years I never liked fulfillment. Now I have to love it because it's my thing. But before, that wasn't really my thing. I was obsessed more about the marketing piece because that's where I brought the money. I wanted someone else to deal with all the fulfillment. But for you, if you want to have a business in the future, you need to understand how do you provide good service to your clients. And so you have to understand the fulfillment piece. You have to understand the role of success coaches in the business, the role of community, your GPTs. How do you provide a good experience for your clients? That's it. So that's for fulfillment. And so within a company, you can actually see how they fulfill on their promises. You can see how they do it, but you lead the marketing component because that is your jam. Okay? So, in short, if you're a newbie, you do these few things, you're going to be a rock star. So just to recap what this is, you want to get your first client, of course, through the means that I showed you. If not, my friend Sean Ferris, he is an expert at teaching copywriters how to get their first client. And the second thing is being indispensable, where I can have the experience being indispensable, and from there, just proving to yourself that you can run a company, you have the chops and the skills, so when you leave for your next offer, you can rev share, you know exactly what it takes. Okay? So that's all I have for you today. I hope this has been really useful for you. If you are a newbie, this is the exact playbook that I followed, and I can tell from experience this is how it crushes. Now, I'll tell you a few examples of students that I know and other people within the community that I'm in that I know did the same model. I'll talk about Homozi's marketing guy for just a sec. It's very public knowledge. Alex Homozi, if you don't know who he is, what are you doing with your life? Alex Homozi's marketing, I think director of marketing. Oops. Director of marketing. So I think I'll keep his name a secret. But Homozi's director of marketing used to be part of Sean Ferris's community. And so this is a guy who is very dialed in, but he started off as an email copywriter. And then 2 years later, bang, was working for Homozi. How did that happen? That happened through a good network that he curated, but also clients that he worked with and completely crushed. Because when you go through your whole client experience, you're going to get clients who are good, clients who are clients who are great, and clients who are freaking awesome to be with. And so what this guy did was make sure he was indispensable with his other clients, that when the Homozi experience came, the Homozi opportunity came, guess what? He jumped on it, and he's been really happy ever since. Okay? So I wanted to share that story with you. And for me, same exact thing happened. And so when you look at the long-term picture in play, you're looking at a period of, if you're 20 or 25 watching this, you have like 30 years. You have like 40 years till you retire, right? So you're 25. Maybe you retire at 60, right? You have freaking 45 years. Let's say you want to retire early. Cool. Then let's scrap this out. Scrap the numbers. Okay, let's say you are 25 now. You want to retire when you're 35, for example. You have 10 years. 10 years is still a long time. And so if you get a good experience for what you want to do within the first couple of years, you have 8 years to build a profit share business and do a whole bunch of other things with that. All right, you can grow it, you can sell it, you can be part of another company, you can have your own business that does $2, $3, $4, $5 million a year. And so when you start off thinking longer term, that's where you truly start to see the rewards for all of the actions you're taking right now. And you start to be on the right roadmap instead of thinking, get rich quick, this, that, I want to get 10K within 3 months, which you can. I've done it with learning how to get clients with Sean Ferris and his copywriting program. But I want to mention that I could also do that and successfully and also do a profit share after that because I had 2 years of experience working in a remote job. I was a freelancer copywriter for Michael Simmons. He's a thought leadership guru in the space of writing, Substack, high quality articles. And for 2 years I had that. And so I could see from the founders how they treated the team, how did they motivate the team, what systems they used to like project management and track everything. I could have a very good sense for 2 years of how this worked. And so when I came to do my own rev share deals, it was, I wouldn't say simple, but it was very easy to see what to implement step by step by step. Okay, that's what I want to have for you. And in this career, the end goal, I would say the goal for you, the mini milestone goal for you is director of marketing. Whether that's a salaried role, a paid role, a commission role with a small business, whatever that looks like, this will be what you want to do. Director of marketing, because once you do that, you can understand within a business, how do teams correlate? How can I build an AI agent for this? Again, we're entering the space of AI, so it's very important for you to think about this in detail. And so for you, you don't have a lot of money as well. And so when you be a director of marketing for a company that uses AI agents within their space, you can see what money brings them. You can see how the AI agents are communicating with each other. You can see what sort of impacts and outcomes it brings for them. And then for you, you can see what the bottlenecks are. Right, so when you eventually leave, you know how to run the next thing, maybe in the same niche, better than the guru that you're working for. Okay, that's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to say. I guess my final thoughts are, this role should always be a stepping stone for you. Don't get too comfortable in there. It's very easy to do it. You want to make sure that you are always fixated on the long term. What is your long-term goal? Is it freedom? Is it just living a good life? Is it a lifestyle business that you want to build? Whatever it is, your end goal, if you're a newbie, if you get to this position within a year and a half, it's not that hard. Again, I guess the objection here is maybe it's like, it needs 2 or 3 years of experience. look, if you can show these guys how the skill level you have in the way you can show up by auditing their funnels, looking at their marketing, giving them like tips and advice, and seeing, just estimating even with GPT, hey, look at this business, look at their employees, how many employees do they have? What is the estimated revenue? Like, you have all these tools available at your disposal for you. When you come on the call with them, you can give them value right off the bat, and you can shift the complete frame from, hey, I don't have experience, to, hey, I can provide you all this because I know what I'm talking about. And you can see the direct impact of me being in the business. I'm not even there in the first place before joining in the interview process. And so that's what I wanted to leave you with. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. If you don't know me already, AJ, I do run a profit share business with my business partner Scott. And I'm doing more calls to help people get started with their profit share business. And so if you're a newbie here, I wouldn't recommend it at all. You should not at all be looking at profit share. Just focus on getting that director of marketing and just getting your first client. That should be your main goal. I hope this provides you a lot of depth to what to look out for, what milestones will be useful in your journey. And I'll talk to you real soon. All right.